Hi there. I want to share a true life story with you. And yes, it happened to me, and I'm rather chagrined to admit it. But my true life story is that for about the past 2 years, yes, you heard that right, for about the past 2 years, I've had a hitch in my giddy up. And what I needed to do was to get a chiropractic adjustment, but I didn't. And I used to get chiropractic adjustments all the time. What I would do is I would get like some energetic work done and my hip would feel so much better. And I'm thinking, okay, it's on the road to recovery. Life is good. And then it would get worse. And I continued that crazy, actually, very crazy cycle for 2 years. And it got to the point where I was not able to walk Max, my dog Max. And you know that Max loves his walks and he loves being outside. And so I was to the point where my physical inability to do something was getting in the way of Max's enjoyment of life. I kept thinking, of course, magical thinking that the adjustment would take place by itself, but I found myself in a catch-22. I knew that it was painful to walk, but yet I knew that if I would walk, it would get better. But it hurt so much that I couldn't walk. So I was in that catch-22. And then with that catch-22, what happened, and you folks might be familiar with this, in that catch-22, what started to happen was the guilt and the shoulds. And the, wow, what will a chiropractor think of me if I call and I should have called 2 years ago? And so all of that started with a vengeance. So I was in a jail, literally, of my own making. And I do literally mean a jail, not just energetically, but it was hard to leave the house because it hurt to walk so much. So I found myself using all those excuses of the shoulds and, what will the chiropractor think, as logical reasons why I wouldn't call the chiropractor. And, that just went from crazy to even crazier. And even Max is agreeing with me now. And so the denial that I was in literally was wrapping around me like a boa constrictor. And that's probably not a pretty picture, but it's also the truth. So life was just becoming yuck, 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 and even more yuck. And what turned the situation around was not me coming to my senses, unfortunately, but one of my friends saying, wow, that is making your life much harder than it needs to be. And it was like, bingo, hello, yes, I needed somebody to tell me this is making your life much harder than what it needs to be. And not only was it making my life harder, but it robbed my life of the simple joys of life, like walking with Max, which we both love. So I needed to take that simple step of calling the chiropractor, scheduling an appointment, and getting my life back, back in a life, so to speak. I needed to get ahead in my life in a way that was more simplified, easier, more productive, and definitely more comfortable. And so I needed to stop thinking that the ailment would fix itself and reach out for help. So if you've been there, okay, just raise your hand. Okay, I'm sure all of us have experienced this at one time or another in one way, shape, form or another. But if you're saying me too, then yeah, raise your hand. And I know what that's like. And I know that you know what that feels like. So if you can relate to my story in some way, shape, or form, can you relate to it in the way that you are acting with the animals in your life? For instance, my story really curtailed not my connection per se, but my physical activity in walking Max and giving him the joy that both of us really love on taking our walks. And you know that something is remiss, but you're just waiting for that magical cure, whatever it might be, to take care of it. And, sometimes we just wait for one more thing before we reach out for help. But, and I know you know this, I know I'm preaching to the choir, we all need help from time to time. We all need an encouraging voice and a supportive hand. Just like I got with working with a chiropractor, and oh my gosh, a massage therapist is just heavenly. And I'm able to walk now, which is really just delightful. So if you can relate to my story and taking that over to your relationship with your animals, I just wanted to let you know that what I aim to do is to support you in your connection with your animals. And whether that's the animals in your life, the domesticated animals, the animals in the wild, angel animals, or totem animals. That my aim, my goal in life is to support you with the animals in your relationship with them. I aim to listen to what you are saying and the animals are saying with compassion and with empathy and with clarity. I aim to speak in confidence when I get a message from the animals that is for you. I aim to speak in confidence and confidentiality so that I am sharing that information from the animal to you. And what I see myself doing is assisting you with my specialized skill set so you don't get stuck in the place that I was stuck in for 2 years and not able to enjoy your relationship with your animal pal. So what we do when you and I and the animal that you happen to be working with, what we all do is we create a circumstance so that it is very balanced and so that you are able to hear what your animal pal has to say and your animal pal is able to hear what you have to say. And when we have a relationship like that, things become so much easier. It's just like, whoa, I always say animal communication is not magical, but when we are working at the depth that I'm talking about and connecting in honesty with the animals, it almost is like it's magical. So I don't want you to get stuck in a catch-22 of your own making, of having that feeling of a boa constrictor being wrapped around you. So if you are feeling that way in the relationship with your animals, let's talk. Okie dokie. Let's set up a 20-minute free discovery call and see what's going on and how I can help you and your animal pal get out of that catch-22 and get on with your life that the two of you are meant to have and enjoy together. So I'm going to put links down below this. If you've got any questions, you can email me at janet@janetroper.com, or you can go to the contact page on my site, janet@janetroper.com. So I am wishing you and your animal pal, or pals, I should say, just the best and hope you're having a good day. Take good care.